Okay, very good afternoon to all of you who are joining us from India, and a good morning to those of you who are joining us from Europe. I am Samrat. I'm the country coordinator of Euraxess here in India, and it's a great pleasure for me to open our third and final webinar on posting offers from Europe for the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship Call 2022. So over the last weeks, we have given you a quite good understanding about this fellowship program and how you can find host institutions, but I think we have kept the best for the last. We have today 3 wonderful countries in Europe with excellent research institution universities, and within the next 90 minutes or so, our presenters will tell you how you can find potential host institutions for the 2022 call. But before we go straight into the workflow of this webinar, I would like to ask Mr. Pierrick Filon-Achida, who is the head of the Research Innovation section at the EU delegation in India, to give some opening remarks about EU-India collaboration under Horizon Europe, and especially under Pillar 1, the MSCA. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon to everybody in India, and good lunchtime for the colleagues in Europe. First of all, I would like to give my appreciation to the academic centers in Europe who will present today. It's very great. It's the third time, as Dr. Samrat was mentioning, that he's organizing it. It's very important. You go to hunt and get more students from India. India is very successful in Erasmus, very successful in Marie Skłodowska-Curie action. But this kind of event today is, even if it's frustrating because we are online, it's very good so that not only you present, colleagues from Europe, but you get a feedback. To the young scholars who are interested to come to Europe, I wish you all the good luck. Marie Skłodowska-Curie action is quite competitive, but it's a good, not only in your curriculum vitae, in your CV, but it's a good experience, a life experience in Europe. In Europe, we have a lot to offer, and we welcome students from abroad, especially from India. I'm very happy to see that the number of participants is very high. Just 3 minutes ago, there were only 8, now it's 159. So this is the magic of internet, it goes very fast. So please do apply. Please be in touch with Dr. Samrat, who can, as Euraxess contact point, guide further, and with my team and Dr. Vivek, who will speak today. We will also continue to guide the institutions. So to the colleagues from EU institutions, please do not hesitate to contact my office. I am not only in charge of education, so Marie Skłodowska-Curie and Erasmus, but I'm also looking at research. And as a concluding word, even though it's today we are speaking about young people who are going to do a PhD or postdoctoral in Europe, we are also present between EU and India. We are doing joint projects in many areas. So probably after you have done your postdoc in Europe, you will have an opportunity to be continuing involved with Europe on a joint research projects. So even though you will have only a couple of years in Europe, you can probably continue staying in Europe on a joint research project or going back to India, but staying in contact with Europeans. So Samrat, that's it for the few introduction words. I really appreciate. I'm looking at the numbers of participants. It's keep increasing, and you are recording this session. So all the best today, and have a nice meeting. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Pierrick, for your warm welcoming words. And you actually described that EU-India cooperation under Horizon Europe, under research, is very successful, and Marie Skłodowska-Curie plays an important role, and especially the postdoctoral fellowship, as you said, is a gateway for further collaboration, for further interaction with European partners. So without further delay, I would ask now dear colleague, Dr. Vivek Dham, advisor at the EU Delegation for Research Innovation, to give us in a nutshell an overview about the 2022 call and how, to maneuver yourself through the call text and what is needed to be eligible for this postdoctoral fellowship. Thank you, Vivek, over to you.
Thank you, Samrat. I'm just trying to put my slides. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of European delegation, European Commission, Euraxess, I welcome you all to this last webinar on posting offers for Marie Sodasca-Curie postdoctoral fellowship for the Indian researchers. So we were overwhelmed with the number of response and registrations in last two webinars as well. So without further delay, I will go directly to the topic, which I'm going to give you a brief overview, how to approach, how to apply for this Marie Sodasca-Curie program. How do we, what are the eligibility criteria, what things you have to do it and which you don't have to do it. So I will be giving you an overview in next 15-20 minutes. So before we go into the details, I will just give you some encouraging figures and stats, which, underlines the excellence of India, which also gives why the Indian scientific community is so fascinated and so attracted to this program. In last 7-8 years, the India is one of the most highly benefited research community from the Marie Sodasca-Curie program. The last figures which we had, more than 2,200 Indian researchers were benefited from this program. So these could be PhD students. So 1,400, more than 5,400 PhD students, Marie Curie PhD students managed to get the scholarship. And then there are more than 450 Indian postdoctoral research scholars managed to crack the Marie Curie in last 7 years. And just to give you a very specific information, the last 2021 call, 82 Indian postdoctoral candidates managed to successfully crack this. And that makes consistently India become the first rank among the non-European country, which also underlines the excellence what Indian researchers brings to this program, their competitiveness, their skills, which are very much appreciated and valued in the European system. So on an average, the success rate is 14 to 18%. The last year's cutoff, most of the streams were 91%. And mainly the Indians were going to UK, Germany, France, and Italy. And there are a few countries today which are here to present the hosting offers. So before I go into the details, it is very important to understand the structure of the European Research and Innovation Program, because the entire philosophy, the rationale of the program, it should reflect in your proposal, should reflect in your, the career planning. And the first keyword which you should write down is Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe is a European Research Framework Program for 21 to 27. Which is one of the biggest, publicly funded research program. 95.5 billion euros are invested by the European member states and associate countries. Out of that budget, 6.6 billion euros are dedicated to Marie Sodasca-Curie program. So this program is divided in three pillars. The pillar 1 is excellence of science, pillar 2 is global challenges, and pillar 3 is innovation. But we will only focus pillar 1 and Marie Curie because all the excellence, that is the bottom-up approach, the idea-driven research is highly encouraged and funded by the Commission under the pillar 1, under the excellence. So the excellence will have also another program like ERC, the European Research Council. But today's topic is Marie Sodasca-Curie Action. So Marie Sodasca-Curie Action is basically overall research mobility scheme. Also help the skill development and mobility of researchers from different sectors and continents. So it has doctoral program, postdoctoral program, co-funding, and exchange, staff exchange program. But our focus today is only on postdoctoral fellowship, But before I go to this particular program, you need to understand what is different in this particular program than the bilateral or the other programs. Basically, these are the individual fellowships to support the excellent research skills in all the research fields. I will come to that research fields in my second slide. So what we want, that it is a new generation of researchers. It is new skills, new competencies to be nurtured, to be developed in a future researchers. They are not only the researchers, but they should be an entrepreneurs. So we want that kind of a skills. So that is why the program is built in a very creativity and innovation is a part of the central part of this program. Plus intersectoral, international and interdisciplinary mobility is the core of this particular program, because they want the researchers to go into different dimensions, so that from the lab to the market, the person should be ready at the time of his research career. So this is very unique program. It is standout program compared to other programs of postdoctoral thing. As I mentioned, it is open to all scientific fields. So for the evaluation purpose or for the understanding purpose, the program is divided into 8 thematic areas or scientific fields. That is chemistry, social science, economics, information science and engineering, environmental sciences, life sciences, mathematics, and physics. Please note that in India, the social science and economics are not part of Ministry of Science and Technology. So we don't consider these are the scientific field. But I urge you people, those friends of yours, colleagues who are from this particular field, please make them aware that the European program considers social science and humanities and economics as a scientific field, and they can also approach and apply to the Marie Curie program. So this particular fellowship program is divided into 2 categories. One is European fellowship and global fellowship. The ERA fellowship, I will come to that in later phase. It is a subset of European fellowship. So European fellowship is meant for the Indian researchers, okay? That it is meant for the researchers who are out of Europe and who want to study, who want to do a research for 1 to 2 years in Europe. So this program, particular scheme is, you have to write down the European fellowship is applicable to the Indian researchers who wants to go from India to Europe, okay? So the global fellowship is for the Europeans to go out of Europe to do a postdoc. So this is not the focus of today's audience and the area. So we will only focus on European fellowship program, which is the Indians going to Europe. So the main eligibility to be part of this particular program or to be successful in this program, that any researcher who wants to apply for Marie Curie postdoctoral fellowship program should have a degree, postdoctoral degree in hand on 14th of September 2022. I repeat, because we receive so many requests and queries again. At the time of 14th September 2022, you should have at least defended your viva and should have a provisional doctoral degree in hand, okay? We will not answer anything afterwards because we spend so much of time on same information to again and again to the people. So you should have been doctoral degree in hand at the time of student. Then second eligibility criteria is 8 years of maximum research experience. So if it should not exceed more than that. But there are some exemptions, or there are some criteria which also allows more than 8. But I will come to that point, which are the exceptions to calculation of the 8 years area. So basically, we are targeting a fresh PhDs which are coming from defended thesis. So that is the target audience. And another important mobility rule is that you should not have resided, or you should not have stayed in that particular host country for more than 1 year or 12 months in last 3 years. So how do I simplify? If somebody had done a PhD in Germany, he cannot do a postdoc in Germany. He has to go out of Germany to do a postdoctoral fellowship. Okay, so that should be in last 3 years. So make sure you understand these mobility rules. We will be sharing the presentations, as well as there is a Marie Curie guideline for postdoctoral candidate, which also defines each and every line very clearly. So I urge to the people that they should listen to that. Again, there is one more criteria, that one application per post is entertained. So you cannot make multiple applications from multiple countries. So only one application should be submitted through one member state or one host. So again, I as mentioned, the 8 years research experience, there are some exemptions, or there are, can be drawn. That is maternity, paternity leave, long sick leaves, career break, all these are applicable. But you need some kind of a documentation proof to prove that. And these guidelines are clearly explained in the guidelines of Marie Curie postdoctoral fellowship. I'm giving the link at the bottom of my presentation, but we will also share the separately the entire list of important documents after the call. So there is one more condition, or that must be respected, and that is mandatory. If you have applied last year, this is only concerned to the people who had applied for last year 2021 Marie Curie program, and if they are applying to 2022 call, they should have scored more than 70%. Okay, if your score of last year is less than 70, then you are not eligible. Okay, I think this is quite clear and simple. And then there is also, if you have to resubmit the proposal, then there are some terms and conditions. That proposal involving same individual researchers with same recruiting beneficiaries, you have to find another recruiting beneficiary or another post lab with a modified research program. So this everything has been clearly explained in the guidelines. I urge you to pay attention before you even start the application process to check your eligibility where you stand as of today. So if you manage to clarify the eligibility, then you can also choose the host institute where you can do the postdoctoral research. So these are the 27 member states. So today there are 3 member states are present, and in addition to the 27 member states, there are associated countries. Okay, so these are non-European countries, but they are associated to the program. And more popularly in India, we have very strong bilateral collaborations with Israel and Norway. So these are the very imminent destinations where the Indians are also exploring. So they can also check the postdoctoral opportunities in these countries. And there are also 4 or 5 countries where the association is in progress. And more importantly, I will highlight is United Kingdom, that is UK. So a lot of Indian researchers are going to UK. But at this moment, the negotiations is on. It can turn positive, it can turn negative. That you need to take a call on your own. You have to discuss your host institute about the probability if the UK qualifies as an associated. If not, what will happen? So everything has to be your call. The Commission as of today says that UK is associated country. But tomorrow, if the association negotiation fails, then you also have to have a plan B, and that is this plan B should also be discussed. If it is associated, well and good, you will be funded. But this is your own risk and judgment. You have to decide if you have to select the host from UK. So again, as I mentioned in my one of the slides about the ERA fellowship. So this is ERA fellowship is subset of the European fellowship. Within the European fellowship, that is the non-European candidate, the candidates coming from India to Europe, they will have an additional opportunity to get a scholarship if they belongs to the widening country. On my right side of this slide, the list of widening countries has been given. If your host institute belongs to this particular country or belongs to this particular group of country, then within the European fellowship program, you will have an option within a small click you have to do, a tick mark, that if you want to opt for the European fellowship, ERA fellowship, You don't have to submit the additional proposal, nothing. It is just an additional option, but make sure your country is in the category of widening country. So you will have an additional chance. If the cutoff is 91 for all, then there could be an additional grant of 8 million euros, which could be distributed to the widening fellowship. So make sure if you belongs to this, not to forget to click the ERA fellowship opportunity or the option. Then where do you do the postdoctoral fellowship? In Europe, all organizations who has a capacity to conduct the research, innovate technology are eligible to post research. It can be from academic sector, it can be from industrial, non-academic sector. Your host institution could be from private, public institution. There is no restriction. It could be also industry, SME, or even the NGOs and social aspect organizations which are working on socio-economic aspects as well. So as I mentioned, the 3 I's, interdisciplinary, intersectoral, and international, is one of the core area of this, the center of gravity of this scholarship is to that. And that is why the secondment is highly encouraged. I am again saying is not mandatory, but highly encouraged, because then you have an additional score or additional marking for that. So you can do a secondment in any part of the world, within Europe, outside Europe. It can be designed during the proposal. And in addition, the Commission also provides a non-academic placement after the 12 to 24 months of your postdoctoral, 6 months of additional placement in non-academic sector, which is paid by the European Commission. So this is fantastic options that also gives you, they want really and people who are an international dimension and has the clear approach to work in an industrial environment. So postdoctoral fellowship, again, I will not, because I will be repeating all these things, but application, when you will prepare an application, the gender and open science is one of the very important criteria in selection process. So you make sure you read the document, read this criteria carefully before you complete this thing. So supervisor, any supervisor who has an international, national repute and has a wide experience, the supervisor's quality is also taken in consideration at the time of evaluation. So please read the guidelines given to the supervisor's qualification, or who could be your in the Marie Curie guidelines. But what I meant to say that any internationally, nationally reputed researchers in Europe who has sufficient experience in handling the PhD and postdoctoral candidate can be a good supervisor for you. So make sure when you identify those people, they are well experienced, because these are very highly competent area of the scholarship. How to find the supervisors? Again, I will not go into the details. My colleagues from different member states are today here. They will also give you the presentation where the supervisors are available, where the areas are available. In addition, the Euraxess, my colleague from Samrat and his entire worldwide network also help the young researchers to find the host. There is also a new partner search, which is also available on Marie Curie website. It's called Marie Curie's matchmaking platform. It is quite good. I tried that, so it works very well. So I urge, there are plenty of opportunities and information available online, because this is one of the crucial area and the task that you have to crack before you start, because finding a host is a major task of your challenges. Once you find the host, then the application procedures, basically the application has to be prepared jointly by the host and the applicant, and it will be submitted by the host institute on your behalf to the Commission. The application link is available on the Horizon Europe portal, that is called as Funding and Tender portal. So evaluation, as I mentioned, is done on 3 criteria: excellence, impact, and implementation. So the excellence has a 50% of weightage. So make sure your project idea is innovative, It has an, its methodology and approach is convincing and doable. Supervisor training, two-way transfer knowledge has to be reflected in your proposal. These are important points you should take into consideration. What I also observed during last few years that people are not paying much attention about the impact. Okay, the impact also is very important criteria, because whatever the research you will do, what kind of impact it will create on your research field, what are the social aspects you will consider, socio-economic impact it will make. So you think of all this in advance at the time of preparation of the proposal. I will be just Samrat, I give me 3 minutes, I will conclude. The evaluation, as I mentioned, we received 9,000 to 10,000 proposals last year. The success rate is 14%, highly competitive. The evaluation is done by peer review process by international experts through 8 panels. The time to grant from submission to your results, it will be 8 months time. It is highly, time management is highly marked, because the European Commission is obliged to sign the grant agreement within the 8 months from the submission. The seal of excellence, again, those who couldn't manage to get the threshold, but they still have got an excellence that is above 85% score. Then there is an additional opportunity that some member state recognize the excellence what the Marie Curie brings to the program, or the excellence of the researchers. So there are a number of bilateral agencies or member state funding agencies are providing national funding. So the list is available. Again, the presentation will be shared with you. The timeline is 14 September, 17 hours Brussels time. The crawl will be closed. So make sure you do everything within time. This is the tentative timeline, that the evaluation, then again the outcome, and if all goes well, you will be able to start your postdoctoral fellowship somewhere in April to September, most likely in August, September, most of the people that the academic year starts in Europe. So again, funding is most important part. This is one of the generously funded scholarship program, 5,080 euros as a living allowance you get. In addition, you will have 600 euros for mobility, 600 if you are married, 660 euros and family allowance. Plus your institution get research training as well as management costs. On an average per month, the European Commission is paying something 7,000 plus euros per candidate. So that is one of the highly paid research grant, and that is why it is more popular and highly competitive. So what are the challenges right now to find the host? My member state colleagues are here to help you out. My colleague from Euraxess will help you out. To put the projects with the research projects yourself, how do you manage to convince the researchers that you are the best guy? And training and host, all this has to be done within short time and within a short number of pages. That is 10 pages is the maximum limit you have. So that is the skill, and all of the things about things has to be done in 75 days, including Saturdays, Sundays, and including the European holidays to be considered. To be precise, I calculated 1,800 hours is in your hand to submit your proposal. So these are some hints. What I will not go into the details, but I will say that start early. Make sure you make the entire thing within time. Not only you are gaining the knowledge, but you are also contributing to the researchers team. So two-way knowledge has to be reflected into the proposal. Your secondment are having a special value and special weightage in evaluation. Think that you are competing with the best people across the world. So prepare very well. If you are half-heartedly preparing, don't try this. Go for next year. So if you're 100% prepared, then only try this. Otherwise, you are losing a chance to this year's cutoff. That is, if you score less than 70, then next year it will not be open. I think I will stop it here. These are the important web links which we will be sharing with you. Samrat, I will stop it here. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will be available for any queries in Q&A, the chat section we will have. So we will be answering that. Over to you, Samrat. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek, for a very concise and comprehensive presentation of the call. And you already said something very important, like, look, guys, if the timeline is too short this year, the good news is the call will also open next year. But this is to prepare yourself. Like, if you already have a clear research project, you will have now the opportunity to see from our member state countries what offer opportunities are there. But Vivek, I just have one burning question, which I think many of us have before we go to the next slot. What about the UK right now? What is the position of the UK? Maybe you have some fresh information for us.
Yeah, we had a discussion on that, but still the negotiations are on. The news is not that bright, or is still a gray area. So we cannot say unless it is black and white. So I will say to the candidate that make sure if the UK don't qualify or the negotiation don't turn up positive, then what will happen? So you also have to have plan B. Okay, if it turns positive, then it's well and good. But this is something, and a gray area. If I'm at your place, I will rather go to at 27, which are there, and again confirm association countries are there. But the choice is yours. I cannot say anything more than that because this is nothing in black and white. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Vivek. And Vivek, you will stay with us, and you can see the Q&A box is filling up. Please stay with us and look into some of the questions. Dr. Vivek and I will, in the background, try to continue to answer the questions. But now we come to our main session, which is to present you hosting offers from Austria, from Germany, and from Poland. And we start with Austria with Bedana Bapuli, who is a senior EU expert at the Research Services Grant Service at the Austrian Academy of Sciences. And it's a great pleasure, Bedana, to have you back with us again. And we're much looking forward to hear what opportunities are there for Indian researchers who want to apply for the Maurice Curie postdoctoral fellowship and maybe choose Austrian institutions as their potential host. Thank you, Bedana. Floor is yours.
I thank you for inviting me again. It's a tremendous pleasure for me to be virtually back in India. Not only because it is the country my dad originates from, but because I also was, as a young researcher, still a student, doing my diploma thesis in your fascinating country. And I hope that we can attract many Indian bright brains to Europe. And it's my pleasure to present you with the Academy's offers. I'm from outer space, as you can see, but we will zoom in right now, and I take you to downtown Vienna, where the Academy of Sciences is located, its main building. The Academy these days celebrates two occasions, namely it's 175 years old, and very centrally in the heart of the city, a new university campus, a new academy campus has been opened. And by the way, today a new presiding committee takes office. So it's an exciting time. Everything is on the move, and this is good. My presentation will be divided into 3 parts. First, I will introduce you to our 25 institutes. I'll shed light on the guidelines to be followed if you want to express your interest of being hosted at the Academy. And finally, I'll introduce you to the support services and the internal procedures to be followed in-house if you choose us as your future host institution. Well, the Academy hosts around 1,850 employees, thereof around 830 are of international origin, and 33 of them are even Indian citizens. We want to become more international, though, and you can contribute to that. It's the largest non-university research performing organization in Austria, and it has the clear mission of promoting science in every way, as is stated, laid down by a federal law. It pursues innovative basic research, is interested in fostering the interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary exchange, and contributes to progress in science as well as to the society. We host our 25 institutes in 5 cities. The majority of them are located in Austria's capital, Vienna, but there are institutes located in the south, in Graz, Leoben, Space Research Center and Material Sciences. The mathematicians reside in Linz, and you might be from Hindi movies familiar with the Tyrolean landscape. Their mountain research is being carried out, as well as quantum physics. We have so far, since this fantastic ERC program has started in 2007, hosted 67, in 2007, yeah, we had 67 ERC grantees that carried out or still do so their ERC projects, from starters to advanced to POCs, proof of concept grantees and synergy grants in the academy. And in the last framework program, we also hosted 48 Marie Sklodowska-Curie projects. So what do our researchers focus on? Well, first, in the field of social of the humanities, we have a very big institute focusing on archaeology. We host Asian studies and social anthropology, historical sciences, cultural and social sciences, as well as 3 big life sciences institutes: mathematics, physics, space research, and material sciences. Here you find the links, the direct links to the institutes. Please look into the institute's websites in order to identify supervisors that fit to your research interests and are operating in your discipline. I shall highlight just a few who proactively look for fellows that might be interesting to you. They're marked here with an asterisk, but all others are open to welcome fellows as well. The Institute for Cultural and the Intellectual History of Asia is actually looking for someone doing religious history in Hindu traditions. In the social sciences, we have interesting research being carried out in the field of demography, urban and regional studies, comparative media and communication studies, technology assessment, and a Center for Digital Humanities and Cultural Heritage. Our Viennese physics institutes do research in acoustics research. Here, supervisors are proactively looking for someone studying or doing research in psychoacoustics, auditory attention, and auditory neuroscience. We have Stefan Meyer Institute focusing on subatomic physics, and High Energy Physics Institute proactively searching for postdocs in the field of dark matter search. And obviously our Quantum Optics and Quantum Information Institute based in Vienna. We have 2 of them, one based in Vienna, the other one in Innsbruck, are certainly also having a number of interested supervisors for you to be looked at. The institutes are in the regions of Vienna are also there, and we might be interested in having a look. And if you finally found a supervisor, then please do get in touch with this person individually. If the signals are positive and they would encourage you to apply, then fill in the Marie Skłodowska-Curie CV template that you will find here on the slide interlinked, and fascinate us, grab our attention with a brief one-pager motivation letter. The call is published on Euraxess in the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action Stat. The official call deadline has already passed, but we are extending for our Indian audience, of course, for one more week. By the way, these two links offer a big number of supervisors in and outside Austria. What do you have to do if you want to apply with the Academy as your future host institution? Then please send the mentioned documents no later than 8th of July to Grant Service of the Academy. The supervisors will select those candidates they intend to accompany and support in the application process. If you go for an application, then you will, as Vivek has already stated, develop your proposal together with your supervisor, and you will be supported by the grant service. How? We provide consultation, we provide feedback on your proposal, we make available internal guidance documents for your information, and have training offers for you as the applicant as well as the supervisor in our portfolio. Finally, we also support you for getting the internal clearance for the submission via the EU portal. Get familiar with this portal as soon as you can. If there are troubles, of course, we support you here as well. The deadline has already been mentioned, 8:30 p.m. in standard time. Please do not wait with your submission until the very last moment in order to avoid last-minute technical problems. If you apply via the Academy, please send us the proposal to the email address indicated 2 slides before by 31st of August. What do you expect if you apply with us? Well, quite inspiring academic atmosphere, top-class infrastructure, facilities, access to global networks, collaboration with other learned societies, academies, universities, research performing organizations, and industry partners, attractive portfolio of training and support services, and development career guidance. What we have, and that is quite new, and I'm very happy to announce this offer, the Academy is the first institution in Austria, the first funder in Austria who provides a backup funding for those who receive the Seal of Excellence, but for budgetary reason do not the grant by the European Union. So as Vivek has already stated, if you score above 85% and are recommended for funding but do not get the funding, then we have an attractive second chance for you. And we offer the substitute funding for carrying out the postdoctoral program at the host institution with the supervisor for a maximum of 24 months. We have, the Academy is not only a research performing institution, but also learned society. And that capacity, we also provide a number of funding programs. So you might wish to have a look at our website to identify other opportunities that bring you through Austria within the framework of incoming fellowships and many, many other opportunities. We have implemented a mentoring program providing training opportunities, skill development, trainings and coachings, individual and small group coaching, and access to a very nice community where mentoring is really a life experience, I would say. Finally, a welcome center would support you with visa and immigration issues, with tax issues, and any other queries you might have when settling in Europe. And we also offer quite a number of social events, including German as a foreign language courses. We endorse, of course, the European Charter for Researchers and the Code of Conduct for Recruitment. We have a gender equality plan that is now compulsory, a must if we participate in EU programs from 2022 onwards. We post our job offers, postdoctoral as well as others, on our website and Euraxess. And we look for you, the brightest minds with innovative ideas. We're eager to exchange know-how with you. We want to foster talent and try to support and boost your career. So if you are interested, be part of it and express your interest. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, Vedana, for this excellent presentation and the good news, which you also gave, that you have extended the deadline for Indian researchers. And secondly, also that you're now also giving the Seal of Excellence, which means if you're not being selected for the Marie Curie Fellowship, but you have scored enough to be awarded the Seal of Excellence, there will be substitute funding available, right?
Exactly. For those who apply with the Academy as their host institution initially.
Of course, with the Academy, yeah. So thank you, Vedana. Please stay with us for the remaining session if you can. And we move now from Austria, not so far geographically. We move to Germany, Land der Ideen, the land of ideas, as often been named. And it gives me a great pleasure to welcome Ms. Laura Willems. She is working at the European License Office of the German Research Organization for MSCA Matchmaker. So Laura, it's a great pleasure to have Kovi again with us on board, and we're looking forward to your presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good afternoon to India. Yes, my name is Laura Willems. I'm from Germany, and I work at the European Liaison Office of the German Research Organizations, in short, COVI. So the abbreviation comes from our German name. Yes, and today I'm going to give you information on the German research landscape, on our research organizations, on the structure of our scientific system, and then I will tell you how to get support in Germany as a researcher, which kind of research structure we have, how we can help you at COVI, what are our services in the field of MSCA, and of course, I will give you tips on how to find MSCA hosting offers, which tools to use, yes, and again, how we can help you with that. Doesn't work. Do you see my next slide?
It's not moving. Now it's moving, Laura.
Now it's moving. Okay, perfect. So first of all, we look at the German scientific system, our research organizations, and funding in Germany. So first of all, we have a dualistic structure in Germany. We have the side of science and the state side. Yes, first of all, when it comes to research, we have academic research at our universities and also at our universities of applied sciences. These are universities that are more specifically oriented than the general universities. And of course, we have research organizations I've put you some examples here of the biggest ones, but of course there are also others. So we have the Fraunhofer Society, Helmholtz Association, the Max Planck Society, Leibniz Association, so on. And on the state side, we have departmental research by federal and state administrations. Departmental research means that research is conducted in the specific field of the respective administration or ministry. So that's the difference between academic and departmental. And I put you an example here, the Robert Koch Institute. It's quite known and it's a very important research organization. So then the second pillar is research funding. We have national and regional funding in Germany. So here the German Research Foundation, DFG, is very important. We have also other scientific foundations which fund research in Germany. And on the other side, we have, of course, the federal ministries, which altogether fund over 40 R&D organizations in Germany. We have the Federal Ministry of Education and Research, of course, but also the Ministry of Economy, for example, and then the state ministries. State ministry means that it is regional. So federal is always national and state is regional in Germany. Understand. And then also very important for you, consulting on EU research funding for researchers like postdocs like you. So here we have the Alliance of Science Organizations. It is an association of the most important German research organizations. And COVI, where I work, is a service platform of this alliance. And on the other side, we have the national contact points, which have already been named at the beginning, which are very important. There's, for example, also an NCP, MSCA. It's the EU Bureau of the Ministry of Education, which handles that, and also other consulting facilities of the federal states. And we as COVI work a bit between the two. We are at the interface between the two. So that's for your overview. Then Germany has been an attractive destination for MSCA fellows under Horizon 2020. So just to give you some numbers, between 2014 and 2020, over 500 MSCA individual fellowships projects were conducted with German organizations. So as you might know, the individual fellowships are we're called the postdoctoral fellowships are now the individual fellowships under Horizon 2020, and over 500 researchers went to German organizations. And Germany was ranked second among the EU member states for MSCA, with over 2,000 participations of German organizations and an EU contribution share of over 500 million euros. Then for the last call, the MSCA DF call 21, there were 710 institutions in total in Germany who applied, from which 113 were retained for funding. So we had a success rate of roughly 16% in Germany, for your information. And then before I come to MSCA, the MSCA Matchmaker and hosting offers, I would like to inform you about COVI's mission and the context in which we're located. So we are an interface between the scientific community in Germany, we're in close contact with the scientific community, and the EU research and innovation funding under Horizon Europe. And we support researchers and the EU offices at universities and research organizations to successfully participate. And for that, we offer information, consulting, and training on all questions regarding Horizon Europe, EU policy, and in the field of research and innovation. Prepare you for your application or your work. So here is an overview of the wider context in which we're located. So we follow closely what happens at EU level and then report it back to the research community in Germany, universities, research organizations, and researchers. to keep them updated on what happens on the EU level concerning research policy decisions, work programs, funding lines, etc. And to always keep you informed and train you. And yes, we have offices in Bonn and Brussels for that. So we're based in Germany and in Belgium. So to also physically connect the two sides, Europe and Germany, and all the researchers from all over the world being in Germany. And we're also part of the informal group of R&D liaison offices, which is an association with liaison offices like we are in Germany, which are also located in many other EU countries. So now I come to MSCA. Yeah, you all know this structure. So now we're going into Pillar 1, Excellent Science. Yes, and how can we help you with your questions on MSCA? So we offer information events and workshops. We have a newsletter, also an MSCA Matchmaker, which I'm going to present in a second, and fact sheets and so on. Then we offer advice. I will come back to that so later. So we have an individual consulting service with tailored advice for you. We also proofread your proposals when you have found a posting offer. So the second step, and we also have advice for small groups and on legal and financial project management. I will give you the contact later. And third pillar of our services is training. We offer workshops on different fields, so on application and grant management and on legal and financial project management. And very important, all our services are free of charge, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now we come to the MSCA Matchmaker for Postdocs. This is a service, a virtual board on our website. It can be very useful for postdocs to find a host institution in Germany. That's where you can have a look if you search a host institution. And for host institutions, it's an opportunity to express interest in MSCA fellows. And it's, of course, regularly updated, so you always get the freshest news. And we have also linked here the Euraxess matchmaker. They also have an MSCA matchmaker which you can have a look at. So now, how does our MSCA matchmaker work, and which kinds of information does it give to you? So to find a suitable institution, you can filter by scientific area and city. The matchmaker covers all scientific areas in Horizon Europe. And the expressions of interest, which are uploaded, these are PDF formats, documents. They include the respective contact persons of the host institutions, the important links that you can use, and of course an overview of the search position and of the project idea in question. And these expressions of interest stay valid until the institutions withdraw their offers. And for further information, please contact the institutions directly. We're only the platform giving you the information about posting offers, but we do not put you in contact with the respective institution. But you have all the necessary information in the expressions of interest. Here you can see a screenshot from Wednesday of current examples of posting offers that are now on our website. So as you can see, there is a good number of hosting offers. Here you see, for example, the areas of life sciences, natural sciences, and engineering sciences, and it then goes on the page. Then, if you have found a host institution that suits you, and you then start with the application process, you might have a lot of questions. So we offer you an individual consulting service. For that, you can get in touch with us at any time by email, phone. I will present our team at a later stage. And then we give you advice on proposal writing. You can send us in your proposal draft, and we proofread it and give you feedback on it. The deadline, as you know, is on 14th September this year. So please send it us at least 2 weeks before the deadline. So in this case, it will be 31st of August. Okay, then if you consider moving to Germany, you might have a lot of questions. So I have put you 2 very useful websites where you can find information, practical information. So first of all, we have Research in Germany. They give you information about a research landscape. We'll find a list with research organizations. You will get news about research development in Germany, why come to Germany, why it is an interesting country for researchers. And yeah, you can also filter by the different stages of a research career you might be in. So I think they have information for everyone. And the second website is Make It in Germany. It's a service of the federal government. And it offers useful information for foreigners who wish to come to Germany to work there or to do their research there. Yes, they give you very detailed information about the requirements, for example, visa questions, residence questions you have to meet if you wish to come to Germany and live there. Then there's a third matchmaker that I can refer to, the one of MSCA Net. So you have COBE, Euraxess, MSCA Net. This one is open until May 23. So I think in one of 3 matchmakers, you may find a host institution that you can contact with, and that suits you. Then if you wish to get quick and up-to-date news about EU research funding and our activities, our events, workshops, etc., you can, of course, follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn. As I told you in the beginning, we try to connect the European level and the research community, the scientific community in Germany. And maybe this might be helpful for you. And last but not least, who is our MSCA team at COBE, who you can contact. So we have MSCA advisors, also of course for postdoctoral fellowships. We're happy to answer your questions or to proofread your proposal. We give you advice in all stages of the application process, from the first questions to questions like linked to project management. So we also have a project management team composed of 4 persons. So if you have questions regarding this area, you can also contact them. And of course, you find all the contact information and the information about the funding schemes, etc., on our website. And last but not least, here is my contact, also the link to our website. And yes, with this, I finish my presentation, and I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Laura, for a very clear presentation and also showing the offers which COBE has for potential candidates. I'm just taking the opportunity because they're just the last questions which are coming in are directed to you. Just could you please clarify, are the consultation services chargeable, or is it free of charge?
Everything is free of charge. So if you call us, or if we proofread your proposal, or if we do a workshop, a seminar, etc., everything is free of charge. So you don't have to worry about that.
So I think this is a very great, opportunity. Most of the European institutions who have those services for international researchers, they are free. So take that opportunity if you are interested to do your postdoctoral fellowship in Germany. COBE is a very good, address to start with your search. And as you said, they will give you great support and services throughout your application process. So thank you so much, Laura. And from Germany, we move a bit further to the eastern side, across the border, and we come to Poland, and we come to dear colleagues from the Jagiellonian University. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Marcin Pasternak from the Department of Pharmacology. And Martin, thanks. It's a pleasure to have you again. And I also take the opportunity to welcome your colleague at the same time, Ms. Katarzyna Kubica-Oron. A warm welcome to you, Katarzyna, and Martin and Katarzyna will give you now an overview about their wonderful university in Poland and what opportunities are there for you. Thank you, the floor is yours.
Okay, so we can start. As you can see on the map, Poland is located in the middle of Europe between East and West. And in case of Krakow, although it is located in the south of Poland, it is also located between, but it is located between the past and the future. Because from the cultural point of view, you can say that Krakow is a historical and cultural capital of Poland, but that doesn't mean that it's only the past, it is also the future. So except of the tourist attractions on the city of Polish kings, the artistic values like galleries, museums, and theaters, it is also a city of writers, poets, and city of sports and tourists. So except of research work, you can, as you can see, you can spend your time in really different places. And about our university, Jagiellonia University is the oldest university in Poland, and it is one of the oldest in this region of Europe. It was founded, as you can see, in 14th century by the king who is on 50 zloty banknote. And current name was adapted in 19th century when it was reorganized. And during all these centuries, many people graduated from this academy, from this university. Some of them are well known, and who knows, maybe between the notable alumni, we will see notable researchers from India also. And I think that now it is a perfect time to give the floor to Mrs. Kubica-Oron, the right person in the right place, because she's from Jagiellonia University Research Support Center and will provide you with more information that would for sure be of the use in our future successful collaboration.
So now I would like to share the screen. Could you, Martin, remove your? Okay. Could you please stop sharing?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. Just a second. Just a second. Now it's okay. Do you see?
Yes.
Or no? It's okay? Is it correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I will just go to my slide. I will start from the Jagiellonian in numbers. So today the Jagiellonian University comprises 16 faculties where nearly 4,000 academic staff conduct research and provide education to almost 40,000 students within the framework of more than 150 different fields of study. As I mentioned before, 16 faculties, so Faculty of Law and Administration and Faculty of Medicine. These two faculties are the most popular in Poland. Faculty of Pharmacy, Faculty of Health Science, Faculty of Philosophy, of History, Philology, Polish Studies, also physics, astronomy, applied computer, also faculty of mathematics, faculty of chemistry, biology, management and social communication, international and political studies, and also very famous and popular biotechnology. And as you can see, the last faculty of geography. In other words, unity through diversity in research areas such as humanities, social sciences, natural sciences, and technology, and also medical sciences. And the Jagiellonian University comprises also 6 modern research centers. For example, very popular and very outstanding, we could say, Małopolska Center of Biotechnology, and also a National Synchrotron Radiation Center, Solaris. The Jagiellonian University has signed about 366 bilateral agreements with the universities in 69 countries. Jagiellonian University is also a member of 11 international networks, and the particularly important is the alliance within the Una Europa. Now let's move to the statistics. Almost 1,200 ongoing projects are implemented at the Jagiellonian University yearly. And how the Jagiellonian University support researchers? Well, Research Support Center was established within the structure of the university. The support center is the unit dedicated to support university in the field of fundraising and general management of the project. We provide advice and assistance at grant application stage and also at implementation stage. At Euraxess has been published the offer of the Jagiellonian University within Maria Skłodowska-Curie Actions postdoctoral fellowship. So please just have a look at this site. This is our full offer for you, which was, as I said before, published at Euraxess. And also, don't be afraid, because the Jagiellonian University offers additional support for international researchers at the stage of employment, and also advice in all formal matters related to stay in Poland. So it was from my side really short presentation, and I love this picture in a world filled with the Kardashians be a cure. So please do not hesitate to contact us. We will support you, we will help you, but please at least 1 month before the deadline. It will be a really good time to cooperate. So thank you very much, and I hope we will meet soon.
Thank you so much to both of you for this very excellent presentation, and seems like it's a very lovely and excellent university, and you have a very well prepared package also for candidates under the Maria Skłodowska-Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship. And so I think it's a great opportunity for you guys out there. If you're interested for applying, you should really look into more detail into the presentations we have provided you today. We have still a few minutes, so I would ask all the speakers, to put on your cameras and sharpen your ears and help us to answer maybe some of the questions which have been coming and been pouring in the last 90 minutes. And there have been quite many, and I see a lot of clapping hands, emojis coming up. Of course, it shows that it has been really a very great webinar so far. just a few questions, which let's take the language. Is that, would you say, for the application? Does it at all, is it important for the application, or is it an added value when you comes to the host country, if you know a bit of the language or you want to learn the language of the host country? Let's start with Marcin and Katarzyna.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, but you have to repeat the question because I have some.
What about the language skills? Are they necessary to apply for the postdoctoral fellowship, or is English the working language?
No, of course we speak into English, so the application is into English. So we have special department within our research support center, the international unit. So all the staff is fluent English. So English is okay.
Okay. There's one question which somebody has applied last year as a postdoc under the for the last year call, and this year he or she is in Europe doing a postdoc. Can she still apply for the Marie Curie? I think that would go for the global fellowship then, right? It wouldn't be for the European fellowship. Maybe Bedana, you could answer that.
Oh, with pleasure. Well, the mobility rule applies. So it's depending in what country she's residing actually, and whether these 12 months within 3 years rule is fulfilled. However, the person can definitely go from one European country to the other, and may even, if located in a European country now, can opt for the global fellowship, leave the European Union or any EU associated country, gain know-how abroad, and return, bring back the know-how again via the global fellowship. So you can move from one European country to another, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And the reference date is the 14th of September this year.
Mm-hmm.
For the calculation of the 12 months.
So what is, yeah, Katarzyna?
May I add something, just only shortly? The really very important thing is that the PhD degree should be not more than 8 years before the deadline of the competition. It's something new, it's a new rule, so it is worth to add, but it's really important, this 8 years. Okay.
Yeah, that's over. Yeah, it's the 8 years after completing the PhD. One candidate is asking, my last year's proposal had a Seal of Excellence awarded. When I apply this year, can I use the same name, title for the proposal? Can it be the same proposal or the title? He's asking for the title.
Certainly. Why not? Certainly. Yeah. Obviously, the
yes.
supervisor. Supervisor has to stay ready to supervise in also during the phase if you apply, and all the other eligibility criteria need to be fulfilled again, but title and contents may remain the same. It's still a good idea to update, CV and other issues. So we would definitely recommend to not hand in the same proposal without any updates.
The researcher, in my opinion, should read really carefully all the feedback. About the previous evaluation, and should definitely upgrade the proposal. And yes, it will be definitely added value.
I don't know, I think there is a bit of internet lagging. Hello?
Yeah, Samrat, we can hear you. Go ahead.
We can hear you.
Seems a bit of my internet bandwidth is low right now.
Okay, on behalf of Samrat, I will just ask all the panelists to give one advice if you have to give it to the today's participant. What is the most important step or what most important actions they should do immediately after this so that they can manage to get the application right in given time. Floor is yours. You can start. Anyone who is feel comfortable to answer.
Maybe I can start. So my tip would be concerning time management, start as early as possible with your proposal. Get feedback from as many persons as possible, and yeah, for that you have to take your time and yeah, start early and always keep in mind the deadline that you have.
And I could follow up and back what Laura said, fully back what Laura said. And I definitely recommend to look for the appropriate supervisor immediately, to get in touch immediately, to set up a confident communication with the supervisor and to seek help. And it should be a collaborative effort from the supervisor, from support services available to you, and also from peers. And do not lose unnecessary points in the impact and implementation session. This is certainly, researchers focus on the excellence part, which is of tremendous importance, but do not neglect that this is a career development grant and you should focus really on skill development, on your plans, and where would you stand if you were granted this fellowship in this call. So this
Yeah, I think she has an internet issue. I will just add one more question to, you can elaborate if you want to give a small tip to the participant, and I will come to the last question later. Marcin, you want to add something?
Well, the time management is always crucial. So nothing to add. Nothing to add.
Well, all I can add, it's also because I definitely agree what was said, but it is also important to just analyze our CV. Yes, it is important because sometimes it's better to not apply, to wait a year. And I think that it's also very important as soon as possible to contact the supervisor.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very valuable tips. I will just add one more point, and I guess if you are aware and comfortable to answer that question, because there is a new dimension or the additional criteria of gender, and open science is included in the postdoctoral fellowship or the Marie Curie. So can you please elaborate how the people should go about it? What is your guidance on that? Can you share your thoughts on that, please?
Well, nowadays, oh, sorry, Laura.
No, go first. Okay, so my general advice for these 2 points would be not to neglect them, because people sometimes tend to neglect the gender dimension and the open science dimension, and yeah, that's not good. So be concise, but and make the plans for these 2 points, like a gender equality plan, yes, don't be too short. So it has become an important part of the proposal, and yes, do not just stick to your project and your career development in CV, but these are also very important points, and it can be decisive at the end.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Vivek, for coming in, and I think it was a very great round of concluding questions, and we're very happy that Bedana also came back. I think we both had a bit of an internet issue, but that seems to be solved now. So with that, I would say thank you so much to all of you attending our third and last webinar on hosting offers, and we really do hope that this has been helpful for you, and we're very sure that you will find now much more insights into how to find a host institution. And thank you again to our speakers from the countries, the institutions. It has been a great webinar, and wishing you a nice summer. I know everywhere it's super hot these days, so take good care, drink a lot, and yeah, we hope to see some of the people today attending soon in Europe as a MSCA fellow. Thank you so much for attending. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.